I don't wear high heels, so I don't know if you can actually feel carpets in high heels. Can you feel the carpet?
iPhone.
So this is a behind the scenes video. It's all about our projects, and I want to show you how we do these projects so you can pick up tips. And I'm on the way actually right now to pick up my business partner who is going to be in the project, and to be fair, she hasn't seen it for a couple of weeks now, so I'll be very curious to see what she thinks about it. I really want to share with you how you can monetize these projects. I want to share with you, key learnings within them and all the detail within the detail. How exciting are you feeling, did you say, between 1 and 10?
About 9.5.
9.5. It's pretty high. So here we are. Project's now completed, and just a final snagging happening right now. So let's have a look. See what you think.
Sure. Okay.
After you.
Came here last time. There was a glass, sort of semi-glass brick wall here, and that's disappeared, which has made the room a lot more spacious. And yeah, it smells of fresh paint, fresh carpet. The room looks massive compared to last time.
Can you remember what was there?
There was a lot of damp on this wall.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
And it's all gone.
Yeah. Well, see, this is the thing, right? People think that certain projects look drastic, yet that drastic is actually really good for you because it was all cosmetic, wasn't it? It wasn't even damp, to be fair. It was literally leaking from the outside, which was bringing water in. So it wasn't actually rising damp. It was that type of damp. So now, here we are. Nice blank canvas.
Yes.
Ready for a tenant. Remember that this is actually a buy-to-let. We're going to rent it out as a buy-to-let.
Yeah.
So we always want a nice blank canvas.
We do.
Yes. And the new white is the old magnolia. The old magnolia is new white.
I see. Again, the room looks a lot more spacious than I remember.
What do you think is actually making the room more spacious?
I think the colour on the walls, definitely. And then obviously the fireplace is gone. The other belongings that were left from the previous owner have gone. That's made a difference. So I think the colours make a big difference. Even the carpet against the colour of the walls makes it more spacious.
So let's have a look at the fireplace. Because remember, we're at the snagging stage now. The
Yeah.
project is complete, but it's final snags. What can you notice about the fireplace? Really important when you gotta do the snagging. You gotta check in with the contractors. Really important at the final stage. So, here's one thing they missed. They haven't put a vent in here. You see, there's no vent, which means that as this is a chimney, it's an older chimney, there will be, over time there'll be moisture coming in, and they'll end up being damp here. So what we've got to now ask the contractors to do is to make sure there's a vent in here so the chimney actually breathes.
Okay.
And I don't know why I'm talking in this tone. But it's you, because you're kind of posh, aren't you? Really? Come on, let's be honest.
The downstairs basement thing there as well, from memory.
Let's have a look.
Oh yeah, there was, wasn't there? Oh, yeah, extra space.
Extra space, and as we were discussing, that's land banking right now.
Yes, it is.
So we can revisit that in a few years' time as the prices rise. Yes. So sign on new electrics.
Yes, I saw that.
Remember the sockets were in the skirting. Now they're to the industry standards now. They're at the right height.
We used to have a door here, and that's been taken out. That actually looks better, I think. It does.
Opens up the space.
Yeah.
So into the kitchen.
Oh wow.
You like in the kitchen?
There was hardly any kitchen here. I remember there was a sink and maybe one unit.
Mm-hmm.
They've really made good use of the kitchen space. Lots of worktop space.
Lots of worktop space, which is an important one in a buy-to-let.
Gas cooker, which is good. Nice big sink area. And lots of walk area still as well.
So it's really, it is important in the kitchen that you have that sort of space of understanding that, you know, how people are going to live here, how they're going to utilize the space. So one of the things we look for is to make sure that we make it cost effective.
Yeah.
So we go for 1 meter, 1,000 mil cabinets rather than 300 mils or 400 mils, because the 1,000 mils are going to be much more cost effective. So that's what we've done here. So it's one to keep in mind actually. People, it's about thinking where you can save money as well, right? The cost savings. So by using 1,000 mil cabinets, that's been a cost saving. So savings here. Secondly, we're looking how can we make a smaller space, because it is a smaller space that we made into a much larger space. So how have we done that then? Why does it look bigger?
I think the colour choice of the cabinets makes a difference.
Yeah.
The colour choice of the tiles, it goes with the look and feel of the rest of the house. So
Yeah.
it looks a lot bigger as a result.
So we like to use, one of our standards is gloss right now. So the gloss kitchens, making sure that we use light tiling. As you can notice, all the tiling is white.
Yeah.
So we're doing our best to give the space, make it look big as we possibly can. The lighter the colours, the bigger the space.
Yeah.
Really helpful when you have small spaces.
I remember, again, the kitchen looked a lot smaller last time.
Yeah.
I think because it was, again, the colours were darker colours of what was left on the flooring and walls. I think just changing all that's made such a big difference.
Absolutely. And then the third key point for this is also, making sure that you are making it tenant friendly. So what I mean by tenant friendly is, as you said, so over here we got the space for someone to move a washing machine in.
Sure.
Now notice that we haven't put a washing machine in though,
Yes.
because the tenants will typically bring the washing machine in. And also when tenants bring a washing machine in, it also means that, actually they're more likely, the more of their own products they bring in, it becomes their home. So they're more likely to stay here for longer.
That's true.
So there's another little tip that works really well. So we've got that there. Over here now, there's always a bit of a, what do we do with this one? So do we put it in the hob and the oven?
Yes.
Or do we leave a free standing spaces? Now, the thing is, typically tenants, they will bring in their own gas oven if it's freestanding.
Okay.
But then the conversation is in your own head is, well, actually it makes the space not as nice while it's fitted. So it's like, do we, don't we? And in this one, as we've refurbished the whole property, we've put that in there. Now the downside of that is that if it breaks down, then we've got to maintain it. That's the thing. But you know what? Can it happen? Yes, it can. But you're going to get a few years use out of it at least. But it does make the place look better.
It does, because it's integrated with the rest of the kitchen units there and the worktop. So I think freestanding one may not look so good.
Yeah, exactly. However, if it was a case of we weren't refurbishing the full kitchen and there was a freestanding space, we would have left it.
That's true.
So then they bring tenants can bring their own cooker in as well, and that's usually okay. If they ask for a cooker, they will give them a cooker.
Sure.
But you don't have to promote it. It's on request.
Right.
So it's like that.
Okay.
Saves more money. Also, again, they treat it like a family home. They're bringing in their own goods, which is pretty good.
Very true. They could probably put a fridge freezer here, maybe.
Yes. Now the fridge freezer, there is space, but there's just about enough space.
Just about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just about is good enough. So onto the bathroom.
Yes. There used to be an old boiler here, right?
There used to be an old boiler here. Yes. We moved the
there it
boiler.
Oh wow, the bathroom is fantastic. So I remember they had a toilet here, and then there was like a freestanding shower or something here before.
Yes.
And it was in a really dilapidated
It was
condition.
pretty ugly, wasn't it?
Yeah, but this looks really good.
So remember, we're at the snagging phase.
Yes.
So the snagging phase. So this is the thing. These are the kind of conversations you've got to have with your contractors. So I mentioned to the contractor, we want to tile this space all the way up to here till the end. And what does he do? The contractors have decided to just put one tile here. Why? Why don't you listen? So what we're going to do here is we're going to get the contractors back in and say, remember we discussed this already? You're supposed to tile to the end of the wall. So just to make it a nice space. So a nice clean space. And also, what is missing? What have they missed? Maybe you're watching this right now and writing down what they've missed. What have they missed in here that we need to have?
That's there.
Extract fan is there. That's all fine. They've done all that. The boilers, they've done a good job with the boiler. They've boxed in the boiler nicely as well. They've got a nice tower rail over here, which is nice and warm at the moment. You know, that's all good. So think of it, think of it like your own space, right? What would you require in a bathroom that you would say, I actually need one of those? Sometimes it's staring you in the face and it's very simple.
Go on then.
Go on then, what? So,
From what I can see, most of the basics are already here.
yeah. So one thing they missed is the mirror cabinet.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of
It's
course.
a simple thing, isn't it? And
we need one of those.
yeah. So these are snagging face, so they need one of those. As you say, yep, that's it. Simple mirror cabinet. So basic, yet they haven't put it in. So this is what we've got to discuss with the contractor. Say, look, we already discussed this. That needs to go in. And when you're doing these things, you always want to be checking that everything's working. So the taps are working. Come on in. You want to make sure the door
The door closes.
locks well, and look, it doesn't. See, snag in. You see what I've done there? Look.
Do you have it?
Yeah. So this is it. We're creating a snagging list right now,
Okay.
and that needs to be done. So we'll make notes of this as we go along. Windows are fine. So there's all these, simple things, but when it comes to tenants, your tenant moves in, they're treating it like a home, and then they're going to give you a list of all these different things.
Yes.
Where's the cabinet? Where can't lock the door in the door? So these are minor things, so minor, but we can address them right now. So we're going to go straight upstairs and have a look at that. Before we do, notice the doors. So these are fire doors. So lounge door to the kitchen door, you always want to make sure it's a fire door. Really important that. Of course, fire safety. As we're here, one thing, what else have they missed in the kitchen? That's a fire door.
Fire door, yeah.
And in the kitchen there should be a...
Smoke alarm?
Yes, well, we got the... So up here we got the... not smoke alarm, but the heat detectors are there.
Okay.
Because it's a kitchen. But as belts and braces, if we're putting in a fire door, what should we be putting in the kitchen? Hopefully you're making notes of this.
Fire extinguisher.
That's the one. So it's not mandatory, but as good landlords, as providing a good home, we should put one of those in. And they're not, they're very cost effective to be fair. You're looking at less than 40 to 50 pounds maximum supply and fit. So having one of these in there, trust me, normally where the fire start is usually the kitchen. So if you can have a safety approach, they're really important. Yeah, so another little one there on the snagging list. Are you writing all this down? Are you taking mental notes?
I'm taking mental.
Lovely, okay, great, yeah. So normally I do is I write them down. Since Rajwan is with me, Rajwan is taking mental notes on this. So very important with the snagging. So the handrail. So if you look at the ends of the handrail, are they rough or are they finished smoothly?
Okay.
Again, seems minor, but health and safety is so important. If you imagine kids, walking up and down the stairs, scratching their hand on something that's not been, really sort of finished off properly, that's really important. So this has. So it's been rooted edge, so that's fine. So, things to be aware of. So here, these are fire doors. Now, one of the ways that you can actually assess a fire door is by looking at how it's been hung with the hinges. So typically a fire door will not have 2 hinges, it'll actually have 3 hinges. So we've got fire doors and hinges. Now, as we're doing the snagging, I think you're doing that really well. We want to make sure the door's shut, making sure it's usable space. So are the doors shutting okay?
They are, this one's fine.
So, go on, give it a good bang.
Yeah, that's fine.
There you go. So that works very well. Again, really important because sometimes what they do is the doors aren't shutting properly and all that kind of thing. So, can you remember this room?
I can indeed.
What can you remember?
The roof had fallen through in the corner over there,
Yes, the roof had fallen through in that corner over there.
which at first sight looked like it was a very big issue, but actually it's been checked and there was no structural problems with the house, it was fine. So that's obviously all been repaired, which looks amazing.
Yeah.
And I think there was a fitted wardrobe there,
Yes,
which is gone.
that has gone.
So that's opened up a lot more space in the bedroom.
No more space in the bedroom, yeah,
And
absolutely.
then I think there was Oh no, we decided to keep the chimney.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about whether we'd get rid of the chimney, but the cost involved, so we decided
Sure.
to keep it.
And what else are you noticing as we're at a snagging stage here about the chimney?
About the chimney, and possibly the same issue that we had downstairs in terms of the vent.
Yes, there needs to be a vent in that chimney.
Yeah.
So that's adding to your snagging list now.
Yes.
And what else are you noticing that should be on your snagging list as we look around this room? Think of it, always be thinking, how would you want to live in this space? So what are you finding? What's missing?
Curtains.
Yeah.
Yeah, curtains at least.
Yes. So what we do is we allow the tenants to bring in their own curtains in. However,
We need a rail.
we need a
We need to put
100%
rails
right.
because
Yes.
They need to hang their curtains.
Yes. So the rails, we need to put rails in.
Yeah.
So that's another additional one to the snagging list, you see.
Okay.
So when the contractor actually says they've completed the project, they actually never have completed the project. And these are the things that you need to come in and step in and really sort of project manage that. So, imagine, if you're watching this, I mean, look, this is one of your first projects, isn't it? I mean, how do you feel, that you're in your own project? Just talk to us.
It's quite amazing how much they've done in a short space of time. The place looks completely new, and also I think the importance of this final inspection that we've been doing and creating the snagging list. I think now that I'm here and I'm seeing it, I'm appreciating how important that part of the project is. Because as soon as you walk in, it looks like everything's great and fine, but when you close in and parts of the property, you realise, okay, there's things that still need to be fixed or corrected or just missing.
Yes, exactly. And here's the thing, it happens every time. Even though it's in the plans and everything's been mentioned. So we just have that final little check-in. I always like to check the bulbs and lighting, making sure, again, very minor yet very important. Because the first thing your tenant will say is, there's no bulbs. They just moved in, and what you've then started is for them to start thinking about what is actually missing. And the light bulb normally starts it off. So, no light bulbs, what else isn't there here? And then you end up with a whole big list. Yes. Have a light bulb. I know, that sounds so simple, doesn't it? So we always make sure that the light bulbs are here. Also, have you noticed the carpet?
Yes. Yeah, it's the rooms feel a lot more insulated in terms of the carpet. I think when we came last time, it didn't feel like that.
Yeah. How's it feel? Have you got high heels on? No, you haven't, have you? Yeah. Can you? I don't know. I've never worn high heels. I don't know how they feel. But can you feel the carpet in high heels?
I can feel the carpet.
Go on, have a little bounce. Go on.
Yeah. It feels like there feels like a spring sort of feeling.
Yes.
Walking around, because the carpet's obviously brand new.
Yes.
And very good, it's good quality, obviously.
So the quality of this, let's be honest, is a medium quality. But you see, the thing about carpets is typically every 2 to 3 years, you end up changing them. So typically when tenants change, typically our average tenancy is around 3 years. And once the tenants have actually changed, what happens is when you've got new tenants coming in, if the carpet needs replacing, what we've got here is a reasonable carpet, medium range carpet, and underneath that we've got a very good underlay.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll just change the carpet, leave the underlay, and it keeps that nice, spongy feeling, of a nice heavy quality carpet, which is really important. I don't wear high heels, so I don't know if you can actually feel carpets in high heels. Can you feel the carpet?
I can feel the carpet.
It's work with high heels. Oh, great. Okay.
From the other bedroom, there was a storage space.
Let's have a look. Let's see what happens. I remember you was having a lot of fun with it last time because you were walking through it, weren't you?
Yeah. So they built the wall here.
Yeah.
I think it was from that side there was the entrance, but now it's on this side.
That's right. So we blocked that off.
Yes.
So storage space is here in this room.
Yeah.
So it's nice space. So you have it clean, neutral, functional, ready for someone to move in. Minor snagging list, and that we're going to cover with the contractor. So are you ready for your second project then?
I am, yes.
Are you really?
Yes, I am. I think
It's a serious business. We can't have so much fun.
Yeah, no, I think
We always have fun.
I'm learning a lot on this project, and then these are things that I can then implement in a second project.
So how would you say this project's actually helped you with your experience?
I think the key thing's been seeing a project in real, in a live environment.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the learning's been theory learning. This is the practical side of things. So seeing all of the things you teach and you talk about, actually seeing it in a physical, tangible property, all of a sudden becomes real. So the importance of snagging this, for example, cosmetic versus structural repairs, things to notice and take into account in the kitchen, thinking from a view of a tenant, all of that suddenly becomes more real. And I think that's, for me, that's probably been the most important.
So it's great though, isn't it, that you trained with us, you did the masterclass,
Yes.
so you kind of have a point of reference, isn't it?
I do.
I mean, how have you found that? Have you found that sort of marries into what we're doing here right now?
Absolutely. So what I've learned on the masterclass and my continuing learning is it's all appearing and all relevant here. So there's no situation where I'm saying, oh, I learned this or I was taught this, and actually it's really different, or the other way in the reality of it, property development, but it's not.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Come closer. Come closer. Come closer. Right. Don't you feel it's quite shocking though, that people have this opportunity cost, where they could do things in such a fast way?
Yes.
But typically, I mean, I've got one particular friend right now, where he could ask for assistance, but he didn't, and he's doing a project where he's still thinking about changing the bathroom, in the same time that we've actually refurbished the whole property.
Wow.
Shocking, isn't it? But you can't tell people what to do.
No, you can't.
So he's got to zip it. Just let him think about the bathroom for another 6 weeks. Wow, he's paying a mortgage, losing out on rental, and all of that. What can you do?
Yeah, no, I think it's important to have a time frame in mind in terms of your project planning. Because like you said, there's an opportunity cost for every single day. So every single day that your property is not tenanted, there's a cost aspect to it. So.
And what would be your top tip for someone who sort of wanted to join into something like this? What would you say? What would be your sort of key point or tip? Or
my top tip, I think, would be to join a community like Premier Property and actually learn the theory and the basics first. I think that's really important. And then after that, implementing that into action, real action, is actually what you're learning, applying it in action.
Why not do the other way around though? Because that's what I did. Did the action, then did the learning, then did the action.
I think, well, I suppose it depends on your personality. Mine is theory, learn the theory first and then apply the action. But yeah, equally you could do it the other way around. The risk with doing it the other way around is you're more likely to run into mistakes, but then you're learning on the job. So
It depends how much pain you like, really, I suppose.
That's true. That's true. And
are we really having this conversation? So here we are in the yard area. So remember, we're doing the snagging. So what's the first thing you notice?
what's the first thing I noticed?
They've painted the bottom sills, but they missed that one.
Oh yes.
Snagging. So me and Rajwan, we're snagging right now. Creating a snagging list. Look, they painted that sill, the contractors, but they ain't painted that sill.
But the door is now open, which we couldn't open last time.
Yes.
But I think we decided to leave the shed there because of the cost that would be involved in removing it, which wasn't necessary.
So that door needs to be blocked up.
Yeah.
And also, what else are you noticing? The window pane.
Ah, yes.
Let's go. So this window pane needs to be covered up.
Okay.
Think about safety, kids, all
Oh,
that.
that's true. Yes,
So-
yes.
So we've got to block that up.
Block that up, okay.
And it needs a bit of a clean, doesn't it?
It does need a good.
See? Yeah, so a little clean. Also look,
Yeah. What's
bit of that going on. So that needs to be all cleaned and levelled off.
leveled off?
Yes. So nice snagging list.
A split pipe there.
Oh, let's have a look.
There, or is it just?
Yes, they just got to put that back onto there, slip back on there. Yeah, that's fine. But it's a good point that you picked that up. See, things like that. It's like some would say silly little things, but they make the big difference. I don't know about you. It's raining. I'm going in.
Yeah.
So here's how we do snagging lists. Okay. So WhatsApp is lovely for this. So what you do. Oh, hang on. So what we're going to do now is we've listed all the items, haven't we, for snagging?
Yes.
So I'm going to let the contractor know right now, and we're going to do it on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Because WhatsApp's great because you can record it on WhatsApp and then you can send it to them again.
Yeah.
Because sometimes what happens is the contractor somehow misses the snagging list that you've already given them.
Right.
So what we do is we're going to do the snagging list in this way. So you press the record button, then you record it and you send it over. And then we're going to have the conversation afterwards to say the snagging list has been sent over. Have a look at the snagging list.
Okay.
That way it minimises the conversation.
Yeah.
And it minimises all the excuses they're going to give as well.
Sure.
They're good people, but you know, that's the easy way of doing it. It took me about 7 years to learn this, by the way. Right, here we go. So here's a snagging list. So first of all, upstairs, we need to make sure that we've got the curtain poles. So we need curtain poles for upstairs, please. We also need to make sure the chimneys have the vents in place as well. The toilet door, it needs a latch on the inside, and we need to put in a cabinet with a mirror as well in the bathroom area. So that needs to go in there as well. In the kitchen, we need to put in a extinguisher and blanket. And in the garden area, we need to cover over that glass pane, and we also need to put that door back in that shed so it's secure, so no one can actually use it, and it's safe as well. Also, the garden needs cleaning, and in the garden it needs cleaning, and also there's some concrete there which we need to stabilise. So the ground floor, there's a couple of holes there which we need to stabilise. That needs to be done as well. And the sills all look good, just the upstairs sill, as you're looking towards the property from the back, the upstairs sill also needs to be painted as well. Apart from that, it looks really good. Just let me know once you've got this snagging list and if you've got any questions. See, there you go, snagging list done.
So once you've got the snagging list over to them, generally how long do they take to sort of complete?
So let's give them a week.
We'll give them
So within this week. However, what we'll start doing is we'll start marketing the property for rental.
Sure.
Because that's the next part, isn't it?
Yes.
So
Okay.
so obviously I'll keep you in the loop with that one as well.
Great.
No?
Yeah.
Financing. Who said that?
Oh yes, finance.
Financing. Oh yeah. Yes, financing. Yeah. So we're refinancing after 6 months.
Okay.
But your 6 months is never 6 months. It's actually 7 months because it's got to be at the land registry. The title's got to be registered there. So that is usually around a month where we are.
Yes,
You know, to
yes.
give that sort of time frame. So typically, you know, we're looking at starting that near that time. So just after 6 months, we will let the remortgage process start. By the time the value is coming around and all that, you know, by the time we do the legals,
Yes.
the 7 months is there.
Okay.
So you can kind of start a little bit ahead. So rentals, we're looking at anywhere between, for this area, so anywhere between 750 to 900 tops. So if you get like a really good tenant who's at 750, really good meaning they're looking for a stable place,
Yeah.
they're looking to settle down, they've got family nearby,
Yeah.
then we might accept 750.
Okay.
And then obviously someone coming along 900 with all the referencing and so on means that we can accept that, or anywhere in the middle.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a sliding scale.
Is there still an insistence to have the break, or is it better to get a tenant tied in for at least 12 months?
So yeah, it's a good question that. So we're testing this actually.
Okay.
So normally we do 6 months. And then a 12-month tenancy. We want people to be happy living where they're living, right? So we've toyed with the idea of 12 months,
Okay.
But then if somebody doesn't want to live in that place for whatever reason,
Yeah.
then we don't really want to time in for a year. So what we do is we always give them the 6 months. Yeah, then we look to renew it as required. But you got to be aware of lenders though. Some lenders, they will actually ask for refinance. You got to really check in on the refinance side. So sometimes they'll ask you for an AST, which is a 12 months. So it's a bit of a, isn't it? Lenders require something,
Yes.
and you want to do your due diligence another way. So there's that kind of balance. And the way we normally deal with that is we will ask the mortgage broker who is going to be the lender, who will actually accept a 6 months.
Sure.
So there's that kind of play on it.
That way, okay.
So there we have Founder Kam Dovedi in our project. Can we have a hug? Are we allowed?
Yes. Yeah.